Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm in the US. Let's fix that title card. That's better. Hello everyone, this is Crow, and this is a video response to markvergeer's what is your favorite left cartridge tag. Now, if you're not in the loop on what a left cartridge is, a left cartridge is something like this. This is a basic cartridge for the Atari 8-bit line. And the reason this is called a left cartridge is because if you tilt it down, you see that it says on the end label, left cartridge. And the reason it says left cartridge is it's supposed to be an indicator indicating to you which way to put the cartridge in. But, you know, it makes sense to put it in face forward, and that's the way it does go in. But they felt the need to put left cartridge on many of their cartridges. Now, the reason I say many of their cartridges is because not all of their cartridges actually say left cartridge. For example, there are third-party cartridges like Frogger here that don't say left cartridge. They have the proper end label, so I don't consider this to be a left cartridge. But yeah, it still works with the computer, the Atari 8-bit computer line. Now, the reason I showed these two off first is because all the rest of the cartridges I've put my own end labels on, covering up left cartridge on most of these. But there are some other cartridges that don't say left cartridge. For example, like Frogger, we have Midway's Wizard of War, and that does not say left cartridge, but I've covered that up with the end label because it actually didn't say anything on there. So yeah, I like to put end labels on games, my own end labels on games if it doesn't properly say the title on there. And also later on in the lifespan of the Atari 8-bit line, they stopped doing that. They put it in these cartridges and doesn't have any type of label up there at all. Also, these Atari XE, you know, they have the Atari 8-bit computer line. There was the XE and XL line. And I think that these cartridges only work in the later models. So they have these Atari XE video game cartridges. This is hardball, no end label. And of course, this is one of the cartridges I think that was bundled with the Atari XEGS. And that's Bug Hunt, again, no end label. And of course, one of my favorite XE game cartridges for the Atari 8-bit. One I actually recently got, maybe a few months ago, that's Archon in cartridge format for the Atari 8-bit XE computer. So yeah, there's no end label on that. So I don't consider those to be left cartridges. But when markvergeer put out this tag, I knew exactly which cartridge to choose. That's Pango. This is definitely my favorite Atari 8-bit left cartridge. As you can see, I put a label on there covering it up. And I used to play this a lot when I was a kid. When I got another Atari, I got the XEGS, and that's capable of playing, you know, all the Atari 8-bit cartridges. So when I got that, I purposely went and seeked out this cartridge and played it. It's still my favorite Atari 8-bit game. Pango's actually a Sega game. I never played the arcade version. Yeah, you can see Sega Enterprises right there. I never played the arcade version. I think there's a Game Gear version, like Japanese only, maybe. I think there may be a Genesis version that's Japanese only, and I think there's a Game Gear version that may be available in the U.S. But, you know, enough of that. Let's look at some footage of Pango. So, alright, here's some footage of Pango I recorded earlier. I'm playing on the normal difficulty. There is a two-player mode. You do alternate turns, but basically, you control Pango trying to get rid of all the snowbees on each level. Each level starts with a certain number of snowbees hiding within the ice. When the round actually starts, a certain number of them break free. That number is determined by what level you're playing the game at. As you kill the snowbees, the blocks that have the snowbees hidden inside them will flash, and random ones will pop open. Now you can destroy the snowbees in one of three ways, I believe. The first way is to basically just push an ice block and smash it with them. Second way is to actually smash the ice block with the snow bee in it before they're even hatched. And the third way is to shake the side of the screen when they're on the side of the screen and stun them and then running them over. There's another way to stun the snow bees, and I'm actually going to fast forward some footage to show you that right now. Alright, so now I've skipped a few rounds ahead, and you may have noticed that there's 3 blocks in the on the level that are of a different shape. They've kind of got, they're white, they've got kind of like a diamond shape to them. And if you could take those 3 blocks and line them up, that will stun all the snow bees on the stage, as well as giving you a bigger bonus. Now you get, you actually get twice the bonus if you manage to line those blocks up when they're not against the edge of the wall. But you still get, you know, a bonus for lining them up if they're against the wall. Because once you get one of those blocks against the wall, you can't get them away from the wall. You can't pull the blocks away. And that's one of the things I really like about this game, is that there's an element, there's like a puzzle element to this, as well as trying to kill all the snow bees. You kind of thinking, trying to plan ahead, trying to get those blocks lined up to get those big bonus points. Now there's lots of other strategies about scoring points, like finishing the level quicker will get you bigger bonus points, and the method you kill the snow bees will net you a different amount of points, but I'm not really going to get into all that right here. This is just kind of a brief video, just kind of showing this game, as well as trying to explain why it is my favorite left cartridge. Thanks to markvergeer for doing this tag. It's a very unique tag, and you know, highly recommend anybody that has Atari left cartridges respond to the tag. That's all. Thanks everyone for watching. See y'all next time. Bye.
This is Chris Kraft of Capcom. The movie is on hold. T-minus 10 minutes for plot resumption. We have a leak in the narrative, and the movie could implode.